The Lake Erie Grape Discovery Center is the official visitors center for the New York State Lake Erie Concord Grape Belt Heritage Area. Supporting and promoting the grape industry, visit us and learn about grape growing history in the Lake Erie region. Shop for grapey gifts, taste local wine in a Concord vineyard. Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey everybody, good morning and happy Saturday. Welcome to all you folks that are visiting Chautauqua County, maybe for the first time, or if you're returning back to our beautiful, beautiful county, welcome back and welcome home. Today is just yet another great episode of Chautauqua Sunrise. Today over in makeup is our county executive, Vince Horrigan, who will be joining me here in a little bit after I get through our community announcements and so forth. So, got a great show, so stick around. If you're watching us later on in the week, just remember, you lost your opportunity to call in live. But if you do have a question for myself or my guests, you can always email us or text us or Twitter us or go to our Facebook and you can leave your question or comment and we'll forward it or answer it one way or the other, okay? If you want to give us a call today live here on Chautauqua Sunrise, give us a call at 753-5225. 753-5225, and we'll be happy to take your call. There's a wonderful person at the other end of the line who will forward your call right to my earpiece, and we'll hear you live, okay? If you're shy and you have a question, call in and just dictate your question, and they tell me what the question is through my earpiece or through my iPhone here, whatever, and we'll get your questions out to everybody. Okay, really crazy weather lately, huh? The other day I had to go to Buffalo, and that was probably my top 3 worst travel days ever in my life to Buffalo. Traffic was all backed up, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I'm looking at the navigation system. It's got that horrible red line that says traffic backed up. And then all of a sudden it broke free, and I looked, and it was like a foot of water under the bridge in Walden there. So, wow. When it rains like that, just be careful, especially for hydroplaning. But anyways, it looks like a nice weekend, and that's always great here in Chautauqua County. Also want to do a shout out to all of our listeners at WRFA 107.9, Low Power to the People. We are rebroadcast there at 1 o'clock, and we know that many of you listen to the show, and we're so glad to be entering your homes, your offices today. And again, you're listening and you have a question or comment, you always can contact us and we can forward it to whomever. Okay? So, rather than me rambling on for a long time, I have lots of information for you. Now, if you're new to the county, this county is like blowing up with activity, and I'm going to share just a little bit of it that people send to me to share. And if you have a club or organization that does have an event coming up, we will be happy to announce it, as you will hear shortly, that it covers the whole county. We have stuff all over the place. I've mentioned up into Silver Creek, all the way over into Frewsburg, Ellington, and Jamestown, Ripley, wherever, Bemis. So let's have a listen and see what we got going on. Let's go directly to Jamestown, over to our friends over Infinity. Infinity, a lot of people may or may not know, but they work with young folks through music, art, and dance, and theater, and so forth. Well, they're going to have a student orientation coming up on July 20th. That's this week, I guess. I'm losing track of time. You're invited to enroll in private and group lessons. The Infinity and Visual Performing Arts Center will have this on Thursday, July 20th. And if you want to know more information on that, 664-0991. Okay, you also can contact them on their website, infinityperformingarts.org. If you're interested in registering for one of these sessions, you really probably should contact them soon. Orientation only lasts 30 minutes, and they take you through the beautiful facility down there on 2nd Street. If you haven't been there, it's really, really awesome. Okay, then there's an event coming up on September 9th that we mentioned in the past few years for that matter. It's the 14th Annual Local Music Showcase on September 9th. That's a Saturday. And currently they're looking for volunteers to, as they say, man the venue doors and check wristbands, sort of like bouncers, during the event, as well as volunteers, sound engineers, and so on. If you're interested, give Stephanie Rogers an email at infinityperformingarts.org, or you can give her a call and they'll forward it to her at 664-0991. The Great Discovery Center, we're going to Westfield now. Let's see, they're always looking for volunteers and some people to help out in the coming seasons, and that would be for helping out in the sales department, greeting visitors, taking people on tours through the museum they have there, or just answering questions about the grape industry or directions. And if you're interested, give Christina McCain a call at 326-2003. Moving right along at the Grape Discovery Center, let's see, they have coming up today from 2 to 4, wine party on the patio at the Grape Discovery Center featuring my buddies, the Bogarts. I know a couple of those guys. Chris Ramaker is on bass, Sean McCain on drums, Chris Pasamonte is guitar vocals, and longtime member Warren Cisco on steel guitar. The afternoon will feature well-known American roots band, the Bogarts, from Jamestown, and they've been around for over 10 years, and they play a lot of their own original music. There's going to be Enchanted Mountain Spirits from Jamestown will be there on site, and wine from Lake Erie Wine Country, brew from Southern Tier Brewing, and summertime cocktails. Enjoy the Concord-inspired food of New York State cheese. So for more information, you can always go to thegrapediscoverycenter.com. Also, August 12th, the Grape Belt Open. This is something kind of new I think they've started this year. It's a golf tournament. Imagine that. We got some great golf courses here in Chautauqua County if you haven't checked that out. It's an 18-hole, 4-person scramble. Starts at 8:15 a.m. Shotgun start 9 a.m. $65 per person. Refreshments and dinners and awards are included. It's going to be held at the Pinehurst Golf Club in Westfield. For more information, give them a call at 326-5292 or visit the Grape Discovery Center over on Route 20. Okay, up to Dunkirk. Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation grants and scholarships. Just a reminder that even though your son or daughter or niece or nephew or whomever has graduated from high school, they still can apply for scholarships, and if you have an organization, they have grants for projects and so forth, so check it out. Okay, It's a brand new one. I'm going to read this cold for the first time. This is involved with the Northern Chautauqua Community Foundation. They have a new scholarship, I believe. It's called the Chautauqua Fallen Heroes Scholarship. Here we go. There's a photo of it. And representatives of the Chautauqua Fallen Heroes Scholarship Committee recently presented the Chautauqua Fallen Heroes Scholarship. Emily Relport was awarded a $500 scholarship to further her education in forensic science and crime scene investigation. She's the daughter of Stephen and Stacy Rayport. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Rayport, not Relport. I'm sorry. Graduated from Pine Valley High School and will attend Hillbrook College in the fall. Let's just see here. The Chautauqua Fallen Heroes Fund was established at the foundation in 2001. First time I'm hearing of it. The key purpose is to provide support to the families of county heroes, firefighters, law enforcement officers, EMS personnel, and local uniformed heroes who have been killed or critically debilitated in the line of duty. The fund also provides scholarships to students who are interested in careers in public safety. Applicants must be pursuing a career in law enforcement, firefighting, or emergency medical services. And it turns out Emily is involved with the Gowanda Fire Department and involved with lots of things in her community. Hey, let's go down to Bemis Point. Join the Maple Grove girls varsity basketball team. Learn a bit of Bemis Point history while touring on a horse-drawn trolley. I would never have thought this as a fundraiser. How cool. That is today, okay? $10 per person, so this is fun. 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., so when it's a little cooler. Let's see. Please give them a call at 640-3449 to reserve your spot. I don't know if there's any openings left right now, but there's 20 seats per trolley, and it's going to be limited. So if you're interested, what a fun thing to do. Of course, it's going to go to support the girls' volleyball team and so on. All right, let's go to Westfield. Let's see now what we got here. Another one today. The annual Westfield Antique Show, sponsored by the Chautauqua County Historical Society, will be celebrating its 79th consecutive year in 2017. And just like in the past years, there's going to be a wide variety of items on display and available for sale. Okay, this year's Antique Show will be featured today, starting in like 45 minutes till 5 o'clock, and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Easton Hall at 23 Elm Street, right downtown Westfield. The event will feature antique furniture, dining sets, glassware, silver jewelry. Justin, you could go get your dad a nice set of dishes. All right, and much more. Over 20 different dealers will be in attendance. Admission is $5, and of course the proceeds go to support the Historical Society. And if you have any questions, give them a call at 326-2977. All right, page 3. We got a lot to talk about here. Make sure. Okay, we are now going to Celeron. Ron and Nancy, one song, will be performing at the Celeron Legion tomorrow, July 16th. The concert will start at 2 p.m. They have performed at a number of places, including the Ryman Auditorium, Nashville Nightlife Theater, and the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. Let's see. The show will feature Gene Hiltz of West Valley, New York, on steel guitar. Gene is one of the most accomplished steel guitarists in New York State. The Celeron Legion Post 777, just 37777, is located at 26 Jackson Avenue in Jamestown. For more information, give them a call at 483-0777. All right, so lots of things to do. All right, now we're going to tell you something that's coming up. Christmas in July, Toys for Tots. This is going to be held July 29th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's at the Resource Center's Administrative Office Building in Dunham Avenue, once again in Celeron. Still looking for vendors. Tables are $25 or $40 depending on size. Vendors are required to contribute an item for the Chinese auction. And as we've said right along, it's amazing. This organization will help out 2,400 children here in Chautauqua County over the holidays. So check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. For more information, give Evelyn Wright Kegelmeyer 661-1429. All right, let's get our airplane and fly over to Sherman. Okay, the Sherman Day 2017. It's a fun day for families. The committee wants to welcome everyone to the Sherman Day 2017, and that's going to be held on Friday, August 4th, with an alumni dinner. Meeting starting at 6 p.m. at the Sherman Central School cafeteria. On Saturday, August 5, there's exciting family events, including things like a 5K run walk, a grand parade, food and crafts and car show, antique tractor show, kids games, water slide, bounce house, dunk tank. I don't do dunk tanks. 12 o'clock is the fireman's chicken barbecue, and a question mark to the end because that usually means when the last leg is sold, it's done. Also featuring a lawn tractor poker run. Where else but Sherman? Okay, my good friend from Chautauqua Opportunities Board of Directors, Deanna Coggins, she needs a hand. She fell ill a while back, and there's going to be a benefit for her at the Moose Lodge on 45 Church Street in Hamburg, August 6th from 2 p.m. to whenever. Tickets are $20 in advance. Food, beer, pop, Chinese auction, a 50-50. She had a stroke and aneurysm. She's doing better, but she's going to need some help with some expenses, and she's presently at the Absolute Care in Dunkirk. So give Deanna a hand if you would. Okay, let's go to slide 19. This is brand new, I think. I don't remember talking about this. Healthy Relationships Conference 2017. Okay, August 16th. Open to professionals and community members, presented by the Salvation Army A New Center, and funded through the Verizon's Hope Line grant. Cost? Free, and meals provided at no cost. Okay, what's it all about? It's a call to men works. Wait a minute, a call to men works. Oh, it's called A Call to Men, and it works to create a world where all men and boys are loving, respectful, and all women and girls are valued and safe. It's the way it is in my house. Keynote speaker is Juan Ramos. Juan is speaking on socialization and culture in relation to violence against women. He will also be providing practical ways that individuals in the community can take action toward positive culture change, where zero tolerance of violence in relationships is the norm. My mouth gets ahead of my brain here. In addition, Juan will be presenting a morning workshop on raising honorable men. Juan is currently a core trainer for A Call to Men. In this capacity, Juan travels the country providing workshops, keynotes, and institutes which encourage men to become part of a solution to ending men's violence against women. Sounds excellent, guys, so check it out, will you? We'll talk more about that as it comes up sooner. All right, back to Jamestown. The Jamestown Community Chamber of Commerce is going to have its Jamestown Cruise-In on August 18th. Lots of cruise-ins this summer. In downtown Jamestown, this is going to be a heck of an event. This event will harken back to the roots of the original event, featuring classic cars, live music, and fun activities for all ages. Sponsoring Jamestown Cruise-In is the Jamestown Renaissance Corporation, which previously organized and hosted this event and is financially supporting it as well. Additional sponsorships are still available. Der Cobblers Automobile Association, Media One Group, and Northwest Arena are partners in presenting the Jamestown Cruise-In. The live music will take place on May and 3rd. That's always fun. Oh boy, listen to this one. With a hula hoop contest. No, and no. Bubblegum chewing. Again, no. If you have a beard and mustache, that's a no-no. 50s theme dress-up contest. That would be good. I'm sure I still got stuff in my closet. And a dance contest. No. I play music. I don't dance. Providing activities for all ages. Chamber members are invited to participate as street vendors to offer food or other items for sale. So that's coming up. And for more information, give Lee Harkness a call at 338-6089. And again, that's August 18th. Sounds like a lot of fun. And finally, mini golf. The Westfield Mayville Rotary Club is putting on its first Rotary Foundation Polio Plus. Polio Plus is a special funding program to fight polio around the world, and they are going to have a miniature golf tournament, and this is going to be fun. A team of four, $50, get you 18 holes of golf. They're looking for sponsors at $50 a person. This is a fundraiser, guys, okay? And just for a lot of fun. An overall sponsor is still being sought for $500, And every single dollar, believe it or not, because of the way Rotary is set up with Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation of Rotary International, every dollar is matched and becomes $6 in the end. So I'll be telling you more again about this, but August 19th, 9 a.m. at Webb's right down the road. All right, we're going to take a breather here and have a public service announcement, and we'll be right back with Chautauqua County Executive.
I'm Randy. I've been a HICAP volunteer in Erie County for 5 years, and I love helping people. HICAP is a program to help people choose or find the best Medicare program for themselves. I like helping people walk out the door knowing they've got much better information. I love being a HICAP volunteer. Helping those people is maybe the most rewarding thing I've done, outside of having a daughter. If you'd like to be a HICAP volunteer, call 518-474-2401.
Okay, we're back, and welcome back to Chautauqua Sunrise. If in the event that you have a need to give a call here at the station, it's 753-5225. If you have a question for myself, you want to announce an event or something your organization is doing, or you have a question for my guest, who is our county executive, Mr. Vince Horrigan. Welcome and good morning, Vince.
Good
welcome.
morning, Doc. Thanks for having me on the show.
You are very welcome. You have not been a stranger here to Chautauqua Sunrise. I know you've been here a few times with us. It seems to be the last time you and we were over at the Mayville Library, I think, when they had just opened that room.
We were, yeah, that was
Just
it was
before the
neat.
parade, yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good time. I was thinking, you and I have known each other for quite a while through Rotary and other different organizations, and even the Chautauqua Leadership Network.
That's right.
We know each other from there.
Yeah.
Rotary, we're fellow Rotarians, so we've had some good connections over the years. And then right here, right on this hallowed spot, you stood, and I was sitting over there, and I conducted what I considered a pretty interesting debate when you were running for the office.
That was interesting. You know, the first time I've ever done that, where you debate, and of course you have the camera, and you want to look at the camera, and you got to think of your words and not wind up going down a blind corner. But it was very well done. And my opponent, Ron Johnson, we both remarked we were pretty proud of the campaigns we ran. We kept focused on the issues, which we all wish our politicians would do. And but that was a great experience. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Well, Chris Burt and his, that's really his baby, his show, Destination Chautauqua. But we've got some more debates coming up this year, and we'll talk about that later. But that whole process is just a pleasure for us to do, because there's not very many venues where you can actually have the debate broadcast live, but also have it taped and then put on YouTube, for future reference and so forth. But yeah, and I remember your wife was sitting on the other side of the room, and she kept saying "smile" or whatever she was cueing you the whole time.
Yeah.
So that was really good.
She gave me a couple of
Yes,
smiles,
I remember
and,
that.
all right, I'm smiling. What was I thinking about? Yeah.
Well, you smile a lot, so that was
good.
surprising to me. So, anyways,
Smile goes a long way. You know, Doc, my theory on whether it's this job or anything, that a positive attitude, a smile, gives people hope, optimism, and helps people, really look at the good that's happening. And that's really the key to all of the great things happening in this county.
and when you smile, it makes an instant connection with the other person, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
You know,
That's why figure skaters smile. Now, I'm not a figure skater, but everybody smiles, whether you're a singer, you're an entertainer, wherever you are.
Right.
You got to do it.
Yeah, that's good. It connects with people. Whew, Vince, you've had a very interesting career up till now, because I'm sure there's going to be more things to add to the list as time goes by. But for those folks that are listening that may not know you very well as I do, could you just give us, the thumbnail sketch or whatever you want to share about yourself?
Well, I'm all my life I've been involved in service. I spent 27 years in military service, United States Air Force, flying America's greatest jets, traveling around the world, usually and mostly with my family. I had great opportunities, met tremendous people, and really enjoyed my military service. I retired as a colonel back in 1998 and moved back to my boyhood dream, our vacation home in Bemis Point on Chautauqua Lake. And there I got on with the Red Cross for 10 years. really wound up having an incredible career of those that need help, whether it was disaster, blood, hooking them up with people that could help, whether they're financial donors, disaster volunteers, blood donors. And I did that, and also brought together several chapters of the Red Cross. We were doing some regional restructuring at that time. I retired from that, and the late Norm Herbie, who was on my board, said,
Norm.
"Have you ever?"
I knew
God bless him, he was great. His advice to me was, "Be careful what you say. Once it's out of the tube, you can't get the toothpaste back in." So, but Norm said, "Why don't you think for running for county legislator?" Because Dick Babbage at the time was stepping down. So I did. I was unopposed, and I won. That's good when you win when you're unopposed. If you lose, it's a bad sign. But I spent 2 years on the county legislature. I loved the challenges. I loved everything going on in this county, which I had learned so much from the Red Cross. And then I was asked, when Greg Edwards made the decision not to run again, would I consider running for county executive? And I said, "What? Why would I do that?"
What?
But I thought more about it. I have good health. I have a passion and love for this county. I love to bring people together. I'm not a politician. I'm not into the politics of it. I'm into the people part of it. And the more I thought about it, I said, maybe it's right for me to do this. And the more I went through the campaign and together really fleshed out the issues and where we wanted to go, I became very confident that it was a good place for me. And so for the last 3.5 years as county executive, I'm proud of the accomplishments we've done. I have made a decision not to run again. This is a one-term shot for me.
Did somebody say to you, "Yeah, right"? Did anybody say that to you?
A lot of people. At the State of the County, I made a comment that right after it that this would be my last State of the County. I would not seek re-election. There were some people that thought I would. And I'll be honest with you, I take a lot of comfort. There's a lot of people that really tried to talk me into it. But my wife has chased me around the world all her life. She's wonderful. We were kindergarten sweethearts.
Really?
And, oh, yeah, we go way back.
Where is kindergarten?
We're in
was
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, you're from Ohio.
Jesu School. Yeah, so we went to kindergarten together, but we didn't really hang out till we were 16, so just so your listeners know. But, and
there were
married
rules
her.
in those days.
Yeah.
Don't mess with the 7th grader.
Married her right out of college at Kent State, and off we went on an incredible career. So it's now time. Our kids are in the panhandle of Florida, Fort Walton Beach, and Tallahassee, and we need to get down there. She goes down, and I'm never able to go. And the kids will be up here in a few weeks to enjoy our summer together. But it's time to really spend time with those grandkids. We all know so many people that have worked so hard, and unfortunately are hit with some type of disease or health issue, and they thought they were going to live together forever in retirement or for a long time. So it's time for me to do that. I don't have any health issues, but I really look forward to spending more time with the family.
And I've been retired for quite a while now, and I just kind of like watched other people around me and listened to my parents, which is not a common thing. I did listen to them, and their adage to me was, retire when you can. Yeah. I retired on my 55th birthday. Yeah. All right, and I will tell you, whoever's listening, watching right now, if you can retire and you're comfortable and you have the means to do so, go for it. Because there's just so much to do that's so much fun and interesting in life, rather than just doing the same thing over and over and over. And if you want to do that, that's okay too. Whatever your passion is, but there is more life than there beyond work and things you do all the time.
Well, the work of the county executive is a 24/7 job.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest with you, there's oftentimes I sleep very lightly or think about a lot of things. Every day is a new challenge. People say to me, 6 months left, you ought to be winding down. It doesn't work that way in this job.
No.
And so, thanks to be on your show today. We'll be dealing with some other issues, but it's 7 days a week. We'll be dedicating a Finley Lake Dam later on today, and to Dennis Brommigan, who was really instrumental in the funding for that project. And but there's a lot to be done. I'm very, very much focused on our regional solutions, shared services. We'll be going to Albany next Wednesday with George Barillo, who's the regional chair of that commission. and Dan Heitzenreiter, who have put together.
Dan's been on the show
incredible-
here.
Yeah.
He's a friend of Chautauqua Sunrise.
And we are in the running for a $20 million grant to be able to help regional solutions, everything from Dunkirk, Fredonia, to fire departments, to Lakewood, Bustide, Jamestown, so many projects, Gary, Charlotte, in Clairville. There's a lot of great things going on. So we're going to give that presentation in Albany on Wednesday, and as I told the Lieutenant Governor yesterday, who was here, announcing that $30 million Celeron Harbor Hotel, I said, I'll welcome you back when you can announce we are the winners of that $20 million grant.
So let's talk more about that. So what's the competition level?
There are 6 municipalities across New York State that are finalists for this Municipal Consolidation and Efficiency Grant. And it's really about Governor Cuomo's challenge to county executives and others to transform government to where we really bring counties together, I should say towns and villages, and partner with schools and partner with other aspects that we can be more efficient, lower property taxes, and wind up really restructuring how we do things. As you know, it's a challenge. Anytime we try to talk about merging or shared solutions, it's fine unless it's my town or my village. But we're finding more and more with Forestville now merged into Hanover. Cherry Creek is voted now to consolidate into the town. The North County Regional Water District is emerging. What we're seeing is people understand there are good regional solutions and partnerships where we can have more capacity, better curriculum for our kids. You look at Chautauqua and the tuitioning that went on with Ripley. What a great success story. Now Panama and Sherman, Panama and Clymer are...
Careful.
Yeah.
Don't start
No, I don't want to start
You did not hear this at Chautauqua Sunrise.
Yeah. So anyway, they're looking at coming together. So there's a lot of good ideas out there, but it does take money often to get these things underway with new facilities, and so we're hopeful that we'll be awarded that $20 million.
So is there one apple or are there 6?
There's one apple.
Oh my
And
God.
so we're going to reach for it, and we think we are positioned very well. Good. You know, one of the secrets that I'm very proud of, the secret sauce to good government, is to get rid of the politics. It's to understand that everybody has good ideas.
Would you send a few bottles to Washington?
I would love to do that. We are blessed in Chautauqua County. We have 19 legislators. And yeah, we have mainly Republicans, but that's not how I look at it. Our Democratic legislators have great ideas, and we have incorporated them together. And when you do that, you focus on getting things done. You don't try to say, oh, I don't want him to get a win or her to get a win. No, we are going to get a win. So that's what we're for.
Well, you know, I'm glad to hear that, because really at the county level on down, there really isn't any room for politics. No. I mean, it's everybody rolling up their sleeves and working together, you know? And it's because it's silly to me. You know, there's nothing to be gained by it, in my mind anyways. I mean, I suppose there's certain little whatevers on the side, but as a rule, we're a great county, and if we just go in there, get elected, or whatever our jobs are, and do our jobs, that's what people want us to do.
No, absolutely. And, you know, I hope the upcoming campaigns, that's what they are. There's approaches of how we do things, where we go. But I'll tell you, I'm very proud of where the county is right now. My last state of the county, I close by saying we are on the move and thriving, and we are a thriving county. All you have to do is look around at the economic development opportunity underway. The Celeron Harbor Hotel is going to be world-class, magnificent. That'll be opening next year. Phoenix Pharmaceutical Manufacturing, oncology drugs manufactured right here.
What is the state of that? I mean, one day you read it's on hold. One day we're reading it's coming. Where is it at?
That is full speed ahead.
Right.
We're waiting for the governor to get time on his schedule to come down to do the actual groundbreaking. But all the final funding, all of the mechanisms have been figured out now. $200 million has been authorized to the company to get this underway. So groundbreaking will start here very, very soon. It's going to take about 2 years to build this incredible facility.
It's going to take a while, yeah.
And about 1 year to be able to get FDA certified. They'll be hiring people, start hiring here within another year. And so that is coming very soon, and that's an exciting project.
And this is going to be located in the town of
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
Yep.
Okay.
Town of Dunkirk. As a matter of fact, if you go just outside the city limits on Route 5 going towards Buffalo, look on the right, you'll see the sign, future site of Athenix.
Okay.
And Fieldbrook Foods is growing. We're hopeful that a major freezer project will be coming into the city of Dunkirk to support that. We're finalizing that right now, Great Lakes Cold Storage. The PGA tournament, we just had a fabulous PGA tournament here, the LECOM Health Challenge.
Right.
Broadcast in 50 countries on the web.com, the Golf Channel, and brought people from all over. Even Channel 2 News had a huge coverage of that. Attendance is up from last year, and of course over $100,000 goes to charity, so really, really well done there. Look at Jamestown, $10 million downtown revitalization. There's some great projects that are underway that are going to be moving. The North County Water District, so many of
Yeah,
things.
we're in town of Ripley. We're involved with that. You know,
so many great things that are underway, and we're just very excited about all that's going on. And there is a buzz. Word of mouth is growing. This is a great place to be, and
we already knew that. It's just a matter of getting the word out. We got a caller. Would you like to take a call?
Absolutely.
Okay. Good morning, caller.
Well, good morning. Good morning, Doc. Good
morning, Linda.
Our county executive. It's so great to see you on the show. This is Linda Spalding.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And I'm glad we've got a little bit of a Christmas in the air this morning. It's not so very hot. It's the kind of weather I like.
I got to be honest with you. We had all the windows and doors open last night during the night. I woke up and I had to put on the quilt because it was cold.
yeah, it was really cool this morning. Yeah, it was refreshing, though.
Oh, absolutely, but unexpected.
I know, I wasn't anticipating it.
So, Chautauqua filling up?
Oh, yes. We've had a lot of people in here. Well, actually, for the 4th of July weekend, or, that week, rather, we've had all kinds of people here, and it's been quite busy. There's been a lot of great things going on.
Now, I'm gonna test you, Linda, here.
Uh-oh.
I'm putting you on the spot a little bit.
Oh, no, I don't want
No,
to.
it's going to be fun. It's going to be easy. I've never set you up. I want to know if the amphitheater is as beautiful as Vince told me it is.
It is beautiful.
All right.
It is. It really is
So
beautiful.
there's two.
Yeah.
All right.
It really is.
I've heard it's spectacular in so many ways with all the new technologies and so forth. But yet people are saying it looks sort of like the old one.
It does. It really does resemble the old one, only it's much larger. It's designed for a greater capacity, and we've really needed it because we've had a lot of people for various performances. So, surprisingly enough, it is very beautiful, and it does look like the old one.
Excellent. So what's going on with your world at the office? What's going on?
Well, we have our computer training, of course. It's going on at the Brockton-Ohio Library and at the Westfield-Patterson Library, and people are encouraged to come. This is training for people in the community, no charge. We've got some really great coaches to help people along.
And Linda, what kind of computer training is that?
Well, it's basic. It's very basic. A lot of people, though, are beyond basic, and our coaches are beyond that too, and they can refer people on to more advanced training and even help them themselves.
Okay.
And also help people compose their own resume, which is really great.
Wonderful. Okay. And then is your picnic done yet, or is it still coming up? I can't
No,
remember.
it's in August.
It's when is it? Let's put a plug in for it.
Oh, no, is it what? Let me look at the calendar. You knew you were going to get this.
I'm trying to help here. I didn't mean to.
Okay, it's in August. Let's see. I think it's a Friday. I believe it's the 18th.
Okay, you can always send me information on that. We'll
I
plug
will.
it. Okay.
It's later than usual. Usually it's at the last week, Friday in July, or the first week in August.
Well, I knew it was coming up. I just couldn't remember when.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 18th, but I definitely will confirm it next week.
Okay, we'll announce that and all the details. How's that sound?
Oh, yeah, and it's a wonderful picnic.
Yes,
we have a
always
chicken
good
barbecue,
things.
we have music, bingo, games, prizes. And our county executive comes to it every year and helps serve the dinners.
Yeah.
You
That's
do?
great.
You didn't tell me that was your job.
Oh, that's true. Of course, it's fun. It's
Man
great
of
to do.
many skills. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you, Lynn.
Okay. Well, have a great weekend and a great week.
All right, and as well to you, and enjoy the weather. It looks like it's going to be a halfway decent weekend.
Oh, I know it. It is.
Okay.
Well, thanks again.
All right,
Thank
you
you.
take care. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Okay, folks, you saw how easy that was. Lynn calls quite often, but you can call in and if you have a question for Vince. All right, so you get talked into running for county executive. You had the talk with your wife, I'm sure.
Oh, yes,
And in
absolutely.
my case, I used to have the kids sit down with me and say, I know this is going to be hard to believe, but I'm going to run. And they go like, what does that mean? Because you won't see me. I'll be very busy.
Right.
So then you get elected after a pretty extensive campaign, and then you sit down and ever say, what in the world was I thinking?
I said to my wife, uh-oh, we won.
Darn it.
You know, Doc, I knew, as legislator, I knew some of the challenges facing us. Greg Edwards, my predecessor, had done a great job, but there was some things that just, he wasn't able to quite get done yet.
Yeah.
So I took those and ran with those. One was a very, very difficult resolution that I had to make, and that was to privatize the county home.
Oh, we talked about
was
that a
very
lot.
difficult. It was very controversial, but it was critical to our financial strength. The other part of that, and although that helped us relieve some of the financial burden, we had to change the revenue structure we had. So we had to get the sales tax moved from 7.5% to 8%. Again, a very difficult thing to do. But together, with the help of the legislature, with making sure we could reduce property taxes, and when we did that, because 20% of that revenue would come from out-of-county residents.
Significant.
Yeah, and it balanced us. It put us in balance. I have to, my hat's off to Kathy Young and Andy Goodell that helped me with that. It was difficult, politically difficult, but it had to happen. And what it did, together those two things, put the county on a financial strong basis for a multi-year plan. And even now, as I develop my budget for 2018, we have a strong 5-year plan. I don't have a 1-year plan or a 2. It's over 5 years, which gives us stability in this county, a continued path of lower property taxes, where businesses, homeowners, retirees can say, you know what? This place is on the right path.
I'll vote for you.
Yeah. So that was critical
Okay,
to us.
so-
And once we got that in place, now we could focus on really working the economic development picture.
Prior to you taking over, and I'm going to say this over a number of years, so I don't want to assign to any particular county executive because I don't remember, but there was always this deficit, this gap, budget gap. Do we have a budget gap?
Very, very slight. But let me tell you what we did this last year. I made a decision. I said, we've got to invest over $1 million in new road equipment. Our equipment was getting older. So we made a choice to say, let's put $1 million in there. We could have pulled it back a little bit in a few other areas and not invested, and so we could have had totally a structurally balanced budget. We took a little bit out of fund balance. The legislature made the decision to do that, and I concurred with it. So the budget gap right now is fairly small. It's manageable. Could I bring it down to 0? Yes, I could. But you've got to be careful with that. It's not just about a 1-year flash-in-the-pan budget. It's a 5-year plan. So if you skimp this year, you don't maintain the roads or bridges this year, you can go out being a hero. Look at, he cut property tax. You know what's going to happen next year? We're going to have road problems and everything else. So it's well under control, and I would say it's a small deficit.
But it was in the millions at one point.
Oh, it was.
It was.
Yeah. And our financial team, headed by now Kitty Crow, they've done a fabulous job, and together collecting, the bed taxes we need and doing all the things that we need to get all the revenues, get all the reimbursements in place, we're in good shape.
Excellent. I sat on the planning board, as you know, for the county, and that was one of our concerns, was the equipment was getting older and older and older.
Right.
And poor George Spanos got beat up quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because there was no money.
Right.
And he needed the equipment, and somehow he used, I don't know, duct tape or gum or whatever.
And here's what happens. When you do that, can you find a way to patch it up? Yes. Does it cost more in parts and maintenance and personnel? Yes.
Yeah.
And then what happens when it's not on the road? It's in the shop, which means you can't plow the roads as much. You can't get it
Efficiency
done.
drops way down.
So efficiency drops way down. And unless you really understand that and see that, you can make a short-sighted decision to cut back on that. George does a fabulous job.
You know, as you know, I'm a town councilman. I've been in boards all over the place. And there comes to a point in time, and see if you agree with this, efficiency then becomes, to a certain point, you can be extremely efficient and be really poorly effective.
Right, right. No, you really can. And it's easy, you know, it gets simple. And when you run, you know, what do you say? You want jobs, jobs, jobs. Cut property taxes, cut property taxes. Those are easy things that people lean on to.
Right.
But when you govern, when you're the county executive and you've got to make the tough choices, I don't care if you're governor or wherever you are, when you're on the executive and make those tough choices, you have to be responsible. You have to take the good with the bad, and you've got to sell people on why this investment is good for the long run. I'm a huge believer in a 5-year plan.
I agree.
So that's how you get stability. That's how the planning board recommendations come to us, where we look at this.
Okay. I just got a question in my earpiece, but I can certainly ask the question because I understood the question very well. When I was on the planning board, I remember when you became county executive, and we pushed back on you on the airports and the future of the airports. And I understand that if we don't maintain the airports, we lose all the federal money that was given to us. So it's sort of like a catch-22.
Yeah.
But your concern at the time, if I remember right, because I think I remember asking the question during the debates, was that without the airports, we don't have a future for infrastructure. We can't bring in businesses or companies that require quick links to air flights and so forth. Were you right?
Partially.
Okay.
Here's the reality. This is the reality of county executive. We're not going to get rid of those airports. We would have to pay back millions and millions of federal grants.
Right.
So since they're not going anywhere, let's make sure we use them to the max to our value. In the Dunkirk area, the corporate aviation, the flying school that's up there is a big asset. Louis Nelbone does a great job of bringing in corporate airplanes. We have a major $12 million jet that is just based in there. This is a competitive advantage for these corporate flyers. In Jamestown, we have a shuttle service that goes from Jamestown to Pittsburgh. It certainly had its challenges, for sure, but it does provide tourism travel and some business travel. And then especially in the summer, the number of people that fly in corporate jets, many visiting Chautauqua Institution, is a huge asset. But you have to maintain these properties. First of all, it's the safety of flight, so you have to do that.
Okay. Now, this is an important piece, I think, that my viewers and listeners need to know. They'll say that those airports cost so much money, but the county shares very, very little.
It's very little.
It's like 5% or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. The budget right now is about $700,000 out of a $265 million budget. About $700,000 of local money goes to those airports. We get huge federal grants. We get state money for these. But you've got to maintain them. And as I say, they are not going anywhere. You cannot close them. You cannot sell them. One of your listeners would like to buy one, I'll tell you what, you're going to get a deal. You'll get change back from your $10 bill, let's put it that way. You can't, because you then have to comply with all the FAA requirements, and that's big money. And the FAA does a huge job in funding.
And people don't understand, you have to have the fire equipment, you have to have the tarmac has to be a certain consistency, you have to cut the grass, you have to keep the tree line down.
You've got to plow the snow.
You got to fix the roofs.
Yeah.
It just doesn't take care of itself.
Weather equipment, everything has to be right. So I look at them as assets.
Okay.
I would love to see them used even more corporate, etc. But we have to maintain them. That's the reality of it.
Okay. You and I were talking before the show that one of the things I did with Joe Gerasi, Catherine Young, and Andy Goodell, I asked them, what's it like, the day in the life of that position? So I'm going to throw that. What's the day in the life of a typical day for the county executive?
You get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I don't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
You get up at 5, you look at your
5.
day, you make sure you've got everything lined up of what you're going to do. Oftentimes you're asked to give remarks somewhere or speech, or go to a school, hand out fishing poles.
How do you keep track of all that?
I have a fabulous team in my office. Carm, my executive confidential secretary, and Dan Heitzenreiter, my assistant, as well as Amanda Gallagher, who's
Who called me the other day to
Yeah.
make sure you were coming? Yeah.
They lay it out for me, and they usually have everything for me. I make sure I'm prepared. But then I also look at things that I'm working proactively, regional solutions and other things. How are we coming on this? So I kind of prepare that way. That gets me till about 6:30. And then 7 o'clock, 7:30, ready to go. Make sure I'm got whatever honey-do list I had to do for the house. Make sure I'm...
People forget there's the honey-do list.
Either reminding my wife we're out at an event tonight or whatever. By 8:30, something's happened. Somebody called, there's some issue, something all of a sudden has gone to the front burner.
And it's not in Mayville. It could be
It's
any
anywhere.
part of the county.
And my phone, 24/7's with me, and there will be some issues that I have to take care of. Someone doesn't understand, and I got to react to it. I cannot just sit there and say, well, it wasn't on my list today. You got to adjust and react. And fortunately, I do have a good team all across the county. My department heads, from Office of the Aging to Health and Human Services to Public Facilities to Finance, on it goes, probation, everything. I've got a great team. There's about 1,100 people in county government. They are fabulous workers. They work hard. They work under difficult circumstances, often with people in crisis, because that's what we do, is help people in need. And we get it done. And then I take stock at the end of the day, and my wife will say, how'd your day go? Well, here's the positives, and here were some of the not so goods, and I try to do it better the next day.
Do you ever walk in the house and your spouse will say, how's your day? And you say, I can't tell you because most of it was confidential. I don't know how many times they just say, don't ask because I can't tell you.
Sometimes, I struggle with going through it again, and I had to be patient because my wife's generally interested, but, sometimes I've got some things, and they're complex. These are, an issue that comes to the county executive is not a simple thing.
Right.
If it was, it would have been solved by somebody else. So it's a complex issue, and oftentimes you have to make a judgment, and it's not always popular. I'm always remarked when I try to make a decision with the best information, my dad would say, even the Lord could only get 11 out of 12 on his side. So I realize I can't get everybody, but I do my best to build a consensus, bring people together, and come up with the best possible decision.
So after you were elected, you got through the, oh my gosh, the day in the life of a county executive. What were any surprises to you when you got kind of into the job and the saddle? I mean, you're almost at the end of 4 years now. Any surprise? Anything catch you off guard or?
Patience is critical in this job. You whatever your vision is, and you need to have a vision, and you need to have tenacity and stick with it. You have to be patient. Just because you think it's the best fabulous idea and you lay it out does not mean that people are going to accept it right away. It takes time and patience, but if you stick with it, and tenacity is the word, you can get there. Whether it's a North County Water District, whether it's this regional solutions where we are bringing people together all over the county, no matter what it is, you keep working to bring people together. That's where real solutions happen. Good ideas are not Republicans or Democrats. They come from across the board, and you've got to embrace them and let them know, hey, you're part of this solution. So I would say it takes more patience, which I always struggle with patience. In the military it was easy. If I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. No, but you made decisions. You were in command. You made decisions. As county executive, you build consensus, and that's what you do. Yes, you make budget decisions, but even then, the legislature is the final hammer on the budget.
There you go.
But, usually what I send to the legislature is, I made a vow, I will never send them anything that I'm not willing to stand right for and say, this is mine. I don't want to hand off some problem to them and say, you guys deal with it. There's some disappointing areas. The drug problem is a huge problem. It's got so many facets to it. We know it's all over the country and the state and everywhere, but I care about our people here in this county. And the opiate crisis and exactly how we handle it, from legislation to prevention to treatment to law enforcement to the judicial system, it's very complex. And that one, I guess, is my biggest challenge in terms of, are we winning? Are we making progress?
Yeah,
and
how
if
do you
not,
know?
why not?
How do you-
and
how do you
and you
measure
don't
that?
know. You read in the newspaper another person that is succumbed to it. It's tragic. Lives thrown away. So, do we have the right criminal justice system? Or do we have the right treatments? And we're going to get a residential treatment facility at WCA, which is great. Andy O'Brien, who's retiring, has done fabulous work. Pat Brinkman, in her clinics, no waiting lines. So, but are we really making progress? That's the question. And I just think of the impact on families and people, and it's a tough one.
Okay. We got about 3 minutes left. There's two gentlemen, George Borello and the other one's Mike Ferguson, that would like to be sitting here talking to me soon. What advice do you have for them?
Number one, before you make a policy or make a promise, do your research, understand what the issues are with that particular problem, carefully think through what you're going to do, and if you're going to promise something, make sure you're ready to follow through on that. Don't tell people that you're going to cut their taxes just to get elected. Or don't tell people that you're going to fix the drug problem just to get elected. You need to think through that because, that was one thing for me. I wanted to tell the people what I wanted to do, what I believed in, and then I was going to do it. And I think that's critical. So that was the biggest thing. And there's so much going on. Economic development's a good example. Understand the 60 projects that we're working actively every week. We sit down every week. Kevin Sandwich's IDA team work very, very hard. Everybody wants, I want more jobs. Well, we all do. I want more manufacturing jobs. Yes, and we need hospitality, tourism, healthcare, service sector jobs.
Right.
So make sure that you understand what's being done now, and then shape a policy and a path that you can deliver.
Top 3 things that you're most proud of.
Financial stability for the county, regional solutions, whether it's the water district or this thing, bringing people together, and I guess the success of our economic development programs, whether they're hospitality, tourism. I'm very proud of those. There's an excitement in this county among the businesses. If you look at Dunkirk last year or last weekend, over the 4th of July weekend, air shows, activities that are going on that were not there before. Our local leaders, Willie Roses, Mayor Roses does a great job.
Yep.
Mayor Teresi, working with him. I'm proud of the team that we work together. And I'll tell you, Doc, the thing I'm most proud of, I'm proud to say this county government is one that is a model for this country. It's not one that has partisan nonsense. I'm proud of that.
Vince Horrigan, County Executive still, thank you for being on the show today. And I couldn't be any more pleased to hear what you have to say today because, as you know, I've been in the background on committees and things like that. So we wish you well in the last remaining months of your term, and thank you so much for being our county executive. And I hope you enjoyed being here today, and I hope that our listeners and viewers are leaving with a good feeling for Chautauqua County.
Well, they should, because we're on the move and we're thriving. Thank you, Doc.
You bet. Folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. I'm Doc Hamels. My guest today has been the County Executive, Vince Horrigan. We call you Honorable? I have never figured that one out.
Call me anything you want.
All right, Vincenzo. And we'll see you all again right here, Chautauqua Sunrise on XX5 next week at 9 a.m. live. Call us, contact us, check us out on YouTube. Take care. Have a great weekend. Okay, now just watch here at the end.